So when you were growing up, to decide that this was going to be your career, what moment do you remember the most?
Honestly, ever since I was a little kid, we'd go on family vacations, and my grandparents would make up games that we each picked a trucking company. And throughout the trip, we counted how many of our trucks we saw, and whoever had the most trucks when we got to where we were going won. And then, growing up Smokey and the Bandit, listening to Eastbound and Down songs, it's been a desire for me for a long time. I did a couple other careers. Like 15 years ago, I got into it. About 25 years old, I was like, I'm gonna go be a truck driver. I've been doing it ever since.
You're driving, on your regular route, and then all of a sudden, you notice something is wrong. Take me through the moments that led up to this award-winning moment for you.
Well, I wasn't supposed to be there that night. My original run had gotten canceled that night, so I got paid because my load canceled. And about an hour later, the office called and I said, "Hey, this truck broke down. Do you want to cover his run too?" And I'm like, "Sure, why not?" So I took that load. It was delayed almost 2 hours leaving the hub in Atlanta. And so I landed at leaving Atlanta about 1 o'clock in the morning instead of 11 o'clock at night like I should have. And I hit traffic on the outskirts of Atlanta that slowed me down about another hour. So like everything lined up that, it had been a really bad night. Everything was going wrong, going sideways on me, but it all happened for a reason. God put me at that point in time for that reason, to be there to save those people's lives. I got off the freeway, and there's a couple miles from the freeway to the hub on surface streets, and I came up this little hill, and I saw a glow from when I was at the bottom of the hill, but I couldn't see what it was. It was just over the crest. And as I was cresting the hill, I saw several cars drive by, like with their phones out the passenger window, taking pictures or video or something of it, and I saw the flames 12, 15 feet in the air coming from this car. It collided into a 5-foot diameter galvanized power pole. I stopped, blocked the road with my truck just to protect the scene, so nobody came screaming up the hill and not realizing what was going on, hit the car or anything. I got my extinguisher, got out, ran up, used my main extinguisher, and it wasn't enough. It put the fire down, but not out. And I came back to get my winch bar to break out the windows with, and I thought to grab my 10-pound extinguisher that I carry because I sometimes haul hazardous materials, and we have to have a bigger extinguisher for that. I got that one out. That was able to knock out the fire completely, and then I broke the windows out to get the doors unlocked, to get the smoke out of the car. The female driver was trapped behind the wheel. The male passenger ended up in the back seat. He was in pretty bad shape. I was trying to find out if they made it, but I wasn't able to personally find out. If they did, I hope they're recovering well, and hope everything goes well for them.
What's your message for drivers right now?
Don't ever assume somebody else called 911. I call 911 multiple times a week. Being a truck driver, I can't always stop. Like if something major like this, I will stop for it. But if I stopped at every disabled car I saw on the side of the road, or every car that was off in the grass a little bit or something, I would never get anywhere. Never assume that somebody else called 911. You don't know. If there's a car down in the median, maybe they had a medical emergency and they're unconscious and they can't call 911 for themselves, and people just drive by all day and not think anything of it. Don't be afraid to call 911.